Hello everyone and welcome to Speaking of Diamonds. My name is Rich and I have for you today a follow-up to the video about how to order a custom diamond painting pen. One of the questions that I received from a couple people is, how do I diamond paint if I have some type of limited mobility or some type of hand pain, etc. And there are a couple things that you can do that I want to go over with you today to try and make your diamond painting experience perhaps a little bit more enjoyable. Now, one of the top reasons that I see people say that it's difficult for them to diamond paint is because they have carpal tunnel. I will tell you, I have carpal tunnel in both of my wrists, worse so in my left wrist than my right wrist, which is weird because I'm right-handed. But I have to be honest with you, I typically don't have any type of pain or numbness when I diamond paint. Knock on all sorts of wood, okay? I don't have that problem yet, perhaps, but I know some people do. So I'm going to show you some solutions that may work for you, and then talk a little bit about why I think I don't have hand pain. So let's go ahead and get into it. So here we have pens like I talked about last time. Okay, we're going to go over those last because I'm going to tell you sort of why I use different types of pens. But I want to go over two types of ergonomic pens that may or may not help you. I'm going to put this down here as well. That may or may not help you depending on what your ailment is. Okay, so the first one is, this is a ergonomic diamond painting pen. It is available on Amazon, and what this is, first time opening it, so I'm seeing it for the first time just as you guys are, so give me a second. So you got to get into the plastic cover first. Which side is the, there we go. And it's going to have some instruction on, looks like how to put your tips into the pen. Yep, that's the instruction. So let's see what's in here. So they give us some pink wax, just fine, great. They give us this, what they're calling silicone strip. And what the silicone strip is made to do is go around the post of the tip to make it stay in the pen a little bit more firmly. Here we have 3 different tips. They're angled tips, and we'll talk about those in a second. But here's the actual body of the pen, this sort of, I don't know, antelope looking thing. And the way that you are meant to use this is go ahead and you're going to somehow use it however it's comfortable in your hand, and sort of use it from the top of the pen, if that makes any sense, rather than when you hold a traditional pen, you're holding it sort of from the side. So you can do this whether it's your middle finger going through that, if you want to put your pointer finger through that, you know, I'm assuming you could, that maybe get a little awkward, but one of those fingers you can put it through, and you're just holding a different shaped pen, and sometimes that will help people tremendously. The other thing that they've started to come out with are these angled tips. So if you look here, our pens, our typical pens have straight tips on them. Even our multi-placers are straight, they stick straight out. So you have to hold your pen at a slight angle or straight up and down in order for them to work properly. Here, I can put this in at an angle, and now I'm even at more of an angle when I'm doing my diamond painting. Okay, I can pick up my drill, come place it, pick up my drill, come place it, and I'm not having to hold it straight up and down like this. Okay, so curved placers may help you, and this ergonomic pen may certainly help you as well. Another type of ergonomic pen that is out on the market that I do not have, so I am I have sort of like a stand-in here, but it's not a perfect stand-in, so no making fun of me. I just want to give you a general idea. But they have what's called a palm placer. Now this is just a resin jar, but a palm placer is essentially something you're holding your palm, and it's going to have a hole in the bottom of it to put your multi-placer, your single placer, and now you can just pick up a drill, place the drill, pick up a drill, place the drill, pick up a drill, place the drill. And you're not holding a pen, it's just sort of you're holding your hand in somewhat of a normal position, and they're typically much taller than this, so it's like my hands are not touching the diamond painting, but this is what I had to work with. And you may find this helpful. Now I'll tell you what triggers my carpal tunnel is when I work on the computer and I use the mouse. So this, to me, this doesn't work for me very well. This maybe if I was using it with my middle finger going through it, but this sort of gives me mouse movements and it aggravates my carpal tunnel after a while. Okay, but these are two things that I've seen out there that are referred to as ergonomic pens that may help improve your diamond painting experience. There are also coming out, they're coming out by the day pretty much, are these new e-pens. And what the e-pens are is they are hooked up to or have a pump built in, so you don't need wax, you don't need putty, and it's just the air makes the drill stick to the placer, and then you can put it on the canvas and go on your way. Those have varying degrees of ergonomics, in my opinion. I'm not an ergonomic specialist, but a number of them, you use one of the old pink pens, which if they were great to work with in the beginning, we would still be using them. So you basically use the pink pen, or some pen turners have come up with blanks that are hollow that you can get a regular pen to place on there, but you are limited to like these type of straight tips that have a hole in them so that the air can come through it. Okay. I've also seen ones now that are all one piece that have like the pump and the charging mechanism or the batteries or whatever in the pen. To me, that just seems like you're going to be holding something very heavy and it may fatigue your hands a little bit quicker than a normal pen. But if you want to try those, first of all, there are plenty. I have a video up of one of the first ones. It's one that has the suction unit separate, the hose, and then you use the pink pen. Go ahead and take a look at that one. I'll list it down below. But look at YouTube. There are just a bevy of videos out there using the different type of e-pens and talking a little bit about the pros and the cons. But as I said, I have carpal tunnel and I use regular pens. How do I do that? Why doesn't it cause me pain? I don't know. Maybe it's the degree of carpal tunnel that I have or something. But I tend to think that if you look at my pens, I don't use one specific size of pen. And quite honestly, if you look at my writing pens, it's the same way. Some days I feel like a long thick pen or a long thin pen. Some days I want a nice fat roller ball or fountain pen. Okay. Some days I just want a squat, pen to maybe what am I trying to say here? One of the ink pens that just have the regular balls in them that, you have to push down to get it to work. Sometimes I want something small and light that is a roller ball or a gel pen that I don't have to push down as much on. But I use all different kinds of pens, and usually what you will see is I will have, like I've been working on a painting using these 3 pens interchangeably. So there are days that I want long and thin, a little bit shorter and thin, or a thicker pen. Okay, these two are new to me. I haven't used them yet, but this one is an Ivy's Dazzler. This adds a little weight to the pen, not a lot, but just a little bit of weight to the pen. And sometimes I'm just in a mood for a heavier pen. Here's one of the thicker pens. Bistro Blanks always makes these pens. They have fun charms in it. In this one, you can see this is a beach scene with my name in it. This is really thick in case I feel the need to have a thicker pen. And then this one is from Jaded Gem Shop, and it's listed as an ergonomic pen. And while it's heavy, it really is great to use. I've used this on paintings before without a problem. And you can use whichever end, like this thinner end I used for my single placer just because it's a little bit more ergonomic for me. And when I'm doing my multi-placing, I can hold on to the larger end just to have a little bit more control over the placement of my multi-placer. But I could switch that, whatnot. And it would, you know, if to meet my preference. Really, it's all about your preference. And as I said in the pen video, to figure out which type of pens that you like to use, you're going to have to try different pens. What does that mean? You have to spend a bunch of money? No. First of all, look at your writing pens. If you like the plain Bics, or you like a thicker ballpoint or a rollerball pen or something, maybe that's going to be the type of pen that you like to use more of. But there are plenty of destash sites out there where people are getting rid of pens that have been customized for them or turned by various turners, and you can go ahead and bid on them or purchase them straight out, usually at a less than the person paid to begin with. Like, for example, I just picked this pen up at a retreat that I was at. It was from someone that bought from Butterfly Effect Wares. And when I saw this colorway, I was like, that doesn't look good. But when I saw it in person, this is really a cool colorway. Now, if you look at this in my typical pen lineup, this is a lot thinner than what I would say I normally use, because here's some more of the pens that I tend to use. I typically like a thicker pen, but there are days that I'm in a mood for a thinner pen. It's also a little bit shorter, so when I'm multi-placing, I need to flip it. I don't have to like flip. This one is you can flip it, but it takes a lot more work because it's heavier and it's longer, right? So really, you just want to try out a bunch of different pens. If you have friends that diamond paint, ask them to send you some pens that you can try and determine what kind of pen that you like. What also affects how the pens feel in your hand and how long you can diamond paint is the shape of the pen. So like, for example, this one is wood. It is super lightweight. It is a Dazzler, so it's a little bit heavy on this end, but you can see I'm holding on to it from the larger side, or from the larger bulb here that's on each end. I'm holding it. This is very comfortable for me. This one is comfortable for me because I have a place to hold the pen, and it's a little bit thicker. It's pretty much, this is thick throughout, but this one is still pretty thick through here, and it also gives me just a little bit of a lip that I'm pushing down on. Whereas this one, sort of the same thing. Now this end is a little weird that I'm holding it up a little bit higher than I normally would because there's a ridge here. But what I typically look for are thicker pens that have definitely some type of thicker end to it, because that's what I like to hold on to. So even with this one that's pretty thin, it gives me a little bubble here, a little ridge, in which I can push down when I'm placing my drills. This one, same thing, and I'm able to do that. But if I use one pen every single day for a couple hours a day, yeah, I'm gonna have hand pain. okay, especially if it's something heavy like this. But there are days that I want to use a heavier pen and this feels really good in my hand. I may use it for an hour and then go, I can't hold that anymore. Let's go to this pen. And I'm going to use this one, and then depending on how long I'm diamond painting for or how much typing I did that day, I may select a different shape of pen. I have pens that are thinner. I have pens that, this is pretty much I think the thickest one I have. I do have some Bistro blanks that are pretty thick, maybe as thick as this one, but I have thin pens that are shorter, that are longer. It all depends on how my hands are feeling that day. But like I said, I happen to be lucky that diamond painting doesn't seem to bother my carpal tunnel. Now I know some folks have limited hand mobility. Again, you know, you may think immediately, oh, a thicker pen. I want a thicker pen because it's less for me to squeeze. You know, there's more of me. I can hold it with a wider grip and whatnot. That may absolutely work for you. But the fact that this pen is a heck of a lot heavier than this pen, this may bother your limited mobility. It may make it hard for you to turn around, to multi-place, or even to move between your drills and your canvas. Whereas a thinner pen may actually be what you're looking for. Even though you think that, oh, I want a bigger pen because I can't move my hand very well or it hurts or whatnot, you just want to try different things. And quite honestly, you know, if you went out and bought every single one of these pens new, these probably are $50 to $75 a piece. Whereas this one I paid at D-Stash, I paid $40, or this was $50. This was $50, I believe it was. This one was, someone gave it to me because it wasn't working for them, so it was free. This one I purchased, but I'm trying to think here. There are a couple others. Like this is one I got, this was given out by a pen turner. Not as much as a ridge that I usually like, but it's a pretty good wide, you know, hold here. So I probably would like this one pretty well. Let me just get this down here. Here, these two I got off of, it was this one. This one I got off of D-Stash. Again, not as much as of a lip that I would like, but it seems to work. This one I got has a perfect little, you know, lip here for me to push down on. So this pen feels very nice to use. But then again, here's a thinner pen that is also very nice for me to use. It just all depends on what my hands are doing that day. So I hope that has helped you a little. Oh, and one other thing that I want to say is, if you need a thicker pen, you know, everybody makes pens these sizes, okay? But if you need thicker pens, talk to your pen turner. If you don't have a pen turner, message me, ask someone in the community. They'll tell you who they use for pen turning. But they can make pens as thick or as thin, as short or as long as you need. Now, this one is okay, long, maybe not. This is probably as long as you can go because there's only molds for blanks that are so long, okay? But like this pen, this was probably made not from a pen mold, but a knife handle mold, okay? They have knife handles that are bigger, thicker than pen molds, and they're able to pour the resin in it, and then they can trim it down and make it into a pen instead of a knife handle. But the result is a nice thick pen should you need it. Okay, and then again, you know, this may be nice and thick for you, but you want it smaller. They can always cut the blank in half, or you know, cut a quarter of it off or whatnot. Just communicate with your pen turner, and always, you know, less is more. Like think about when cooking, you want to put in a small amount of salt. You don't want to put in all the salt because it may be too salty. Get the pen, get it thicker than you think you may want, longer than you think you may want, and use it. Typically, you can talk to the pen turner that provided you with that pen, and they will make adjustments to the pen either free or for a small fee. They'll take it back. If you want to cut smaller, whatnot, you could do that, but go down incrementally and tell them, I'm trying to find the pen that works for me. And they can make it the smaller size for you. You can try it out. And once you have it, you go, aha, this is the type of pen that I want. You can do any different type of shapes and stuff like that, but I need a pen that's this thick, that's this heavy, whatever the case may be. Or, like me, you just use pens of all different sizes because I just feel that it gives me a different grip every single time I sit down to diamond paint, and therefore doesn't cause me any type of repetitive strain. So I hope this answered some of your questions about getting the custom pens. I do want to do sort of a vendor spotlight and show you how to order Ivy Dazzlers, because a lot of people are really intimidated by the website. My short answer for you is, if you need help, reach out to Ivy. She is a very nice woman. She can walk you through it and get you what you need. But I want to walk you through the website just in case you're one of those folks. I'm one of those folks. If I don't have to talk to people, I don't want to talk to people. So if you want to order one of these off the website, I will do a quick walkthrough in another video to show you how to order this. A lot of your pen turners will do, sometimes they put up, like this one is from Poshy Pens. They pre-turn the pens and sell them like this. But then again, some pen turners, this is from Enabler's Outpost, and I have a pen scription with them, and they know, look at these two pens. See how they're the same thickness but different design? They have my measurements on file. They keep track of that. They know what type of pen I like. They can do whatever they want in the center, but make my pen about the same size. Okay, and like I said in the last video, to make it super scientific, go ahead and tell your pen turner, gee, where I hold this pen, whether it's a diamond painting pen or a writing pen, I hold this pen at about it's in this area that's about 6 centimeters, so give me 6 centimeters. Or if you need something a little bit thicker, here, this one is, let me get to the thickest part here. This is probably about 8 centimeters, okay? If you do this, this is super accurate. They can go ahead and measure the pen and get you something very close to another pen that you are comfortable using. So I hope this has helped you out. If you have any other questions, put them down in the comments and I'll try and answer them either in the comments or in another video. But as always, thank you for tuning in. Make sure to like and subscribe, hit the bell to be notified of any future videos. But I will see you next time we are Speaking of Diamonds. Bye-bye.